Chapter 1, The Living World. Multiple choice question. Question number 1. As we go from species to kingdom in a taxonomic hierarchy, the number of common characteristics will decrease. Question number 2. Which of the following suffixes used for units of classification in plants indicates the taxonomic category of family? Answer. Suffix AC in plants indicates a taxonomic category of family. Question number 3. The term systematics refers to diversity of kinds of organisms and their relationship. Question number 4. Genus represents group of closely related species of plants or animals. Question number 5. Taxonomic unit phylum in the classification of animals is equivalent to which hierarchical level in classification of plants? Answer. Taxonomic unit phylum in the classification of animal is equivalent to division in classification of plants. Question number 6. Both botanical garden and zoological parks have collection of endemic and exotic living species. Taxonomic key is one of the taxonomic tools in the identification and classification of plants and animals. It is used in the preparation of both monograph and flora. Question number 8. All living organisms are linked to one another because they share common genetic material but due to varying degrees. Question number 9. Which of the following is a defining characteristic of living organisms? Answer. Respond to external stimuli is a defining feature of living organism. Very short answer type questions. Question number 1. Linnaeus is considered as father of taxonomy. Name two other botanists known for their contribution to the field of plant taxonomy. Answer. Natural system of classification of flowering plants was given by George Bentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker in 3 volumes of Genera Plantarum. Question number 2. What does ICZN stands for? Answer. ICZN stands for International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. Question number 3. Couplet in a taxonomic key means. Answer. The keys are based on contrasting characters generally in a pair called couplet. It represents the choice made between two opposite options. This results in acceptance of only one and rejection of the other. Question number 4. What is monograph? Monograph contains information on any one taxon, that is, any one genus or family at a particular time. Question number 5. Amoeba multiplies by mitotic cell division. Is this phenomena growth or reproduction? Explain. Answer. In single celled organisms, we are not very clear about the uses of these two terms, growth and reproduction. Question number 6. Define metabolism. Answer. The sum total of all chemical reaction occurring in our body is metabolism. Question number 7. Where Question number 7. Which is the largest botanical garden in the world? Name a few well-known botanical gardens in India. Answer. Largest famous botanical garden of world is Royal Botanical Garden at Kew, London, England. Largest botanical garden of India is Indian Botanical Garden, Sipur, Howrah, Kolkata, West Bengal. National Botanical Research Institute is situated at Lucknow, India. Short answer type question. Question number 1. A ball of snow, when rolled over snow, increases in mass, volume, and size. Is this comparable to growth as seen in living organisms? Why? Answer. No, this is not comparable to growth as seen in living organisms. Non living objects like snowball also grow if we take increase in a body mass as a criteria for growth. However, this kind of growth exhibited by non living object by is by accumulation of material on the surface, which is known as accretion. In living organisms, growth is from inside. Question number 2. In a given habitat, we have 20 plant species and 20 animal species. Should we call this a diversity or biodiversity? Justify your answer. Answer. In a given habitat, we have 20 plant species and 20 animal species. We can call this as biodiversity. Each different kind of plant, animal, or organism that we see represents a species. This refers to biodiversity or the number and the type of organisms present on the earth. Question number 8. Brinjal and potato belong to the same genus Solarium but two different species. What define them as separate species? Answer. Species is a group of potentially interbreeding groups that are reproductively isolated from other such groups. Brinjal and potato belong to the same genus Solarium but two different species as they are reproductively isolated. Question number 9. Properties of cell organelles are not always found in the molecular constituent of the cell organelle. Justify. Answer. All living phenomena are due to underlying interaction. Properties of tissues are not present in the constituent cell. Similarly, properties of cellular organelle are not present in the molecular constituent of the organelle but arise as a result of interaction among the molecular component comprising the organelle. These interactions result in the emergent property at a higher level of organization. This phenomena is true in the hierarchy of organizational complexity at all levels. The number and kinds of organism is not constant. How do you explain this statement? Answer. The number and kinds of organisms are variable according to the seasonal changes, like population of certain insects increases during rainy season. The IUCN Red List 2004 documents the extinction of 784 species, including 338 vertebrates, 359 invertebrates, and 87 plants in last 500 years. Long answer type questions. What is meant by living? Give any four defining features of life form. Answer. Growth, reproduction, cellular organization, ability to sense environment and mount a suitable response, metabolism, ability to self replicate, self organize, interact, and emergence are unique features of living organisms. Some other characteristics of living organisms are lifespan, movements, adaptation, variation, and homeostasis, etc. Living organisms are self-replicating, evolving, and self-regulating interactive systems capable of responding to external stimuli. Number 1. Metabolism. There are thousands of metabolic reactions occurring simultaneously inside all living organisms, be they unicellular or multicellular. The sum total of all chemical reactions occurring in our body is metabolism. All plants, animal, fungi, and microbes exhibit metabolism. No non-living object exhibit metabolism. Metabolic reaction can be demonstrated outside the body in cell-free system. An isolated metabolic reactions outside the body of an organism performed in a test tube is neither living nor non-living. Hence, while metabolism is a defining feature of all living organisms without exception, isolated metabolic reaction in vitro are not living things but surely living reaction. Number 2. Cellular organization. All living organisms are composed of cells and products of cell. Hence, cellular organization of the body is the defining feature of all life form. Number 3. Consciousness. Perhaps the most obvious and the technically complicated feature of all living organisms is the ability to sense their surrounding or environment and respond to these environmental stimuli, which could be physical, chemical, or biological. All organisms from the prokaryote to the most complex eukaryote can sense and respond to external cues. All organisms handle chemical entering their bodies. All organisms therefore are aware of surrounding. Plants respond to external factors like light, water, temperature, other organisms, pollutants, etc. Photoperiod affects reproduction in seasonal breeder, both plants and animal. Consciousness therefore becomes the defining property of living organism. Number 4. Interaction. All living phenomena are due to underlying interactions. Properties of tissues are not present in the constituent cell. Similarly, properties of cell organelle are not present in the molecular constituent of the organelle but arise as the result of interaction among the molecular component comprising the organelle. These interactions result in emergent property at a higher level of organization. This phenomena is true in the hierarchy of organizational complexity at all levels. Question number 2. A scientist has come across a plant which he feels is a new species. How will he go about its identification, classification, and nomenclature? Obviously, nomenclature or naming is only possible when the organism is described correctly. This is identification. Reference collection of plant specimens are collected up to herbarium and identified. Most plant parts are dried, pressed, mounted on herbarium sheet and stored. Classification is the process by which anything is grouped into convenient category based on some easily observable characters. The earliest class system of classification used only gross superficial morphological characters such as habit, color, number, and shape of leaves, etc. They were based mainly on vegetative characters or on the androecium structure system given by Linnaeus. Such systems were artificial. Natural classification system is based on natural affinities among the organisms and consider not only the external feature but also internal feature like ultrastructure, anatomy, embryology, and phytochemistry. Natural system of classification for flowering plant was given by George Bentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker in 3 volumes of Genera Plantarum. At present, phylogenetic classification system based on evolutionary relationships between the various organisms are acceptable. This assumes that organisms belonging to the same taxa have same ancestor. In order to facilitate the study, the number of scientists have established procedures to assign a scientific name to each organism. This is acceptable to biologists all over the world. The system of providing scientific name is called binomial nomenclature. Each name has two components, the generic name and a specific epithet. This system of providing a name with two components is called binomial nomenclature. The naming system given by Carlos Linnaeus is being practiced by biologists all over the world. This naming using a two-word format was found convenient. Question number 4. What are taxonomical aids? Give the importance of herbaria and museum. How are botanical gardens and zoological parks useful in conserving biodiversity? Answer. Taxonomic studies of various species of plants, animals, and other organisms are useful in agriculture, forestry, industry, and in general in knowing our bioresource and their diversity. Herbarium is a storehouse of collected plant specimens that are dried, pressed, and preserved on sheet. Further, these sheets are arranged according to a universally accepted system of classification. The herbarium sheets carry a label providing information about date and place of collection, English, local and botanical name, family, collector's name, etc. Herbaria also serve as a quick referral system in taxonomical studies. Biological museums are generally set up in educational institutes such as school and colleges. Museums have collection of preserved plants and animal specimens for study and reference. Specimens are preserved in a container or jar in preservative solution. Plants and animal species may also be preserved as dry specimens. Insects are preserved in insect box after collecting, killing and pinning. Larger animals like birds and mammals are usually stuffed and preserved. Museums often have collection of skeleton of animals too. Biodiversity conservation may be in situ as well as ex situ. However, when there are situations where an animal and plant is endangered or threatened and need urgent measure to save it from extinction, ex situ conservation is a desirable approach. In ex situ conservation, threatened animal and plant are taken out from the natural habitat and placed in a special place where they can be protected and given special care. Zoological park, botanical garden and wildlife safari park serve this purpose. Question number 5. Define a taxon. What is meant by taxonomic hierarchy? Give a flow diagram from lowest to the highest category of plant and an animal. What happens to the number of individual and number of shared characters as we go up the taxonomical hierarchy? Taxon is a taxonomic group of plant and animals with similar traits of any ranking. These taxonomic group or categories are distinct biological entities and not merely morphological aggregate. Classification is not a single step process but involves hierarchy of steps in which each step represents a rank or category. Since the category is a part of overall taxonomic arrangement, it is called the taxonomic category, and all category together constitute the taxonomic hierarchy. As we go higher from species to kingdom, the number of common characteristics goes on decreasing. Lower the taxa, more are the characteristics that the member within the taxon share. Higher the higher the category, greater is the difficulty of determining the relationship to the other taxa at same level. As we go higher from species to kingdom, the number of individual goes on increasing. Question number 6. A student of taxonomy was puzzled when told by his professor to look for a key to identify a plant. He went to his friend to clarify what key the purpose was referring to. What would the friend explain to him? Answer. In reference to this question, key stands for taxonomic keys. Key is the taxonomical aid used for identification of plant and animal based on the similarities and dissimilarities. The keys are based on contrasting characters generally in a pair called couplet. It represents the choice made between two opposite options. This results in acceptance of only one and rejection of the other. Each statement in the key is called lead. Separate taxonomic keys are required for each taxonomic category, such as family, genus, and species for identification purposes. Keys are generally analytical in nature. Question number 7. Metabolism is a defining feature of all living organisms without exception. Isolated metabolic reactions in vitro are not living but surely living reaction. Comment. Answer. All living organisms are made up of chemical. There are thousands of metabolic reactions occurring simultaneously inside all living organisms, be they unicellular or multicellular. The sum total of all chemical reactions occurring in our body is metabolism. All plants, animals, fungi, and microbes exhibit metabolism. No non-living object exhibit metabolism. Metabolic reaction can be demonstrated outside the body in cell-free system. An isolated metabolic reaction outside the body of an organism performed in a test tube is neither living nor non-living. Hence, while metabolism is a defining feature of all living organisms without exception, isolated metabolic reaction in vitro are not living things but surely living reaction. Question number 8. Do you consider a person in coma living or dead? Human being is the only organism who is aware of himself, that is, has self-consciousness. We sense our environment through our sense organ like ear, nose, eye, etc. When it comes to human beings, it is all the more difficult to define the living state. We observe patient lying in coma in hospital virtually supported by machine which replace heart and lungs. The patient is otherwise brain dead. The patient has no self consciousness. So, on this basis, the person is considered as dead. But there are thousands of metabolic reactions occurring in the body. Hence, on the basis of metabolism, the person is considered as living. So, we can say that the person that lying in coma is neither living nor dead. Question number 9. What is the similarity and dissimilarity between whole moong dal and broken moong dal in terms of respiration and growth? Based on this parameter, classify them into living or non-living. Whole moong dal has an intact embryo which respire at slow rate during dormancy phase. When the whole moong dal absorbs the water, it resumes the growth and germinate to form a new plant. Broken moong dal does not have an intact embryo, so it cannot respire and do not germinate or grow. As whole moong dal can grow, hence it is a living, while broken moong dal cannot grow, hence non-living. Some of the properties of tissues are not constituent of its cell. Give three examples to support the statement. Answer. Bone is a specialized connective tissue which is made up of osteocyte or bone cell. Bones provide mechanical support which is not provided by bone cells. Dry surface of skin is a compound epithelium tissue that is made up of epithelium cells. Epithelial tissue protects the skin from chemical and mechanical stresses, while this property is not found in epithelial cell. Blood is a specialized connective tissue which is made up of RBC, WBC and platelets. Blood help in the transport of nutrient inside the body, while blood cells do not play a role in transport of nutrients. That's all for this video. If you want to download the PDF, the link will be given in the description box. Thank you.